Hi everybody, my name is Anna and I'm the teacher behind this studio, and I wanted to introduce myself so you will feel me a little bit more and also just understand a little bit why I'm teaching Kriya Yoga and how I came onto this path and what it is to me and what it can give, the highest potential of it. So right now I'm at my house. I live on the countryside south of Stockholm, 2 hours south of Stockholm in Sweden. And I've been living here for 8 months now, I think. And I will talk more about this place in another video. I have my yoga studio here right now. So so I'm teaching Kriya Yoga, which is the practice of Kriya Yoga. It's asanas, it's pranayama, meditation, mantras that I was taught by my guru, Swami Shankarananda Maharaji. And I was also initiated into Kriya Yoga a couple of months ago. So it's really, I'm on an exploration journey, and as I evolve I also will feel the Kriya Yoga more and more and be able to share that wisdom more and more. The more I evolve, the higher consciousness states I attain. So right now I'm in spiritual training with my guru, and I'm also guided by I have my 2 closest guides, Babaji and Mataji. So they are both yogi and yogini, and they are Kriya Yoga masters, and they are really the ones that brought the wisdom of Kriya Yoga onto earth, to humanity. So I'm doing this studio and everything is as I'm guided to do. And I would like to just share a little bit how I came onto this path of Kriya Yoga. And it really started 2 years ago. I was living in south of Sweden in a big city, and it was during COVID. I was studying, and I had a lot of time to think, and had a lot of existential thoughts about the world and the way I was living as well, my choices, and also I felt very trapped inside, because I had a lot of fear and anxiety. So I couldn't really be free, expressing myself freely and doing what I wanted, because I was limiting myself. So it was like I was small. I wouldn't dare to be myself fully. And during this time I started looking more and more into spirituality, because I haven't been connected to spirituality before this, apart from doing a Vipassana course in India 2 years earlier, but that wasn't really spiritual for me, I felt. So at this time I was looking for like spiritual people, spiritual community, and when you start looking, the universe usually responds. So the universe does respond. So I met my beautiful Swedish mentor Camilla Mara in I think it was January last year, and she had a course that started at that time, and even though the course felt very advanced and I didn't understand it because I was using my mind, I could feel within my heart it was the right thing to start to do. So I started this course, and at that, everything shifted when I started that course. I shifted my whole life around. it was during COVID, so I was by myself a lot in my apartment, and I really made that apartment into like a small ashram because I was doing spiritual training, and I was eating a special diet, and I was doing all these experimenting things with the practice, and I was meditating a lot. And I stopped studying as well. So I put all my focus into this spiritual training. And for me, it felt like this is what I've been looking for. I don't know, I wouldn't say all my life, but this was what I had been looking for, searching, but I wasn't aware of what I was searching for. But I could really feel this within my heart. I was on the right path. And and I was doing a lot of healing at this time, so I had a lot of time to digest this, integrate. And for me, the spiritual, when you start walking your path and you start healing, you come more and more in contact with your soul. And it's really about remembering your soul. You remember who you are. So the soul always knows. The soul is eternal. So the more I came in contact with my soul, the more I also came in contact with my soul's purpose. And it went very quickly. The spiritual evolvement went really fast. So I think it took maybe 1 month into the course. I was reading this book about an autobiography by a yogi, by Yogananda. And in this book, Yogananda meets different enlightened beings, and they're all practicing Kriya Yoga to evolve spiritually. And in this book, there's a chapter about Babaji. And Babaji, he explains Babaji as like a very advanced yogi, enlightened being that came to earth, I think 2,000 years ago, and still kept his physical body and stopped aging, or how you can tell, yeah. And he's been present for humanity ever since, and providing humanity with the practice of Kriya Yoga, because at different times the Kriya Yoga has been kept very secluded, just between guru and disciple. So between guru-disciple relationship, so it hasn't been spread out to the wide outside of that, just to keep it pure, to keep it connected with its pureness. So yeah, I was reading about Babaji, and I could feel a huge connection with Babaji. And I couldn't explain it, but I just felt there was something. It's like an intuition. I was so drawn to Babaji. And I felt this love for Babaji as well. So, in the end of that chapter, it says, if you pronounce Babaji's name with reverence, you will attain an instant blessing. And I was experimenting at this time, because I didn't communicate knowingly with other dimensions and consciousnesses that are not in physical form. And I didn't know how to do it either. So this was all very new to me. But I was curious, so I said Babaji's name. And I was sitting in meditation. And I could feel this huge presence coming into my field. And it was all like a golden presence. And I could feel it as Babaji. And when a part of me thought I was making it up, but the experience was so intense. It was very... But because I've never experienced this before, I thought I was making it up. Yeah. But another part of me was so curious, so I asked Babaji if I could meet him. And Babaji said, this name came. It was like a name, a word I've never heard before. And so I googled this. The presence of Babaji went away, and I googled this name, and it was a small village, like a small village on the countryside in south of Nepal, just by the Himalayas. And I was so surprised. Like, I was so surprised because this, I mean, this experience was purely divine. It was, I mean, I was almost shocked because, yeah, I was shocked. And yeah, and this was really a calling for me to go to Nepal. But because I think I was new and I was a bit scared and insecure, it took me 4 months before I actually went to Nepal. And that journey was a huge initiation journey for me. But anyway, when at this time, when I just had the calling, I talked to my mentor Camilla about this, and she said Babaji would love to be your guide. So Babaji became my closest guide that I started communicating with, practicing to communicate, because I wasn't, this was really new to me, how to communicate. And I just had to discover how it works, really. And Babaji started guiding me more and more. And until, like, till this day, Babaji is one of my closest guides. Yeah, so that was really the first experience I had with a master, Babaji, and it really hit off from there. And also the Kriya Yoga came into my life from there, because yeah, because Babaji is, I mean, Kriya Yoga and Babaji is one. Yeah, so I'll share in the next video. I'll share about Nepal, what happened in Nepal, and yeah, it was a beautiful journey. Okay, so thank you so much for listening, and thank you for following the my page, the studio's page. And if you have any questions, feel free to write. I'll be happy to answer the best way I can. Yeah, so thank you so much.